Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to be pushing back the Styanax video, unfortunately, because I have an invigoration on him, and it's not that effective of an invigoration, and the stat is actually kind of a burden. It's range. I know that might sound weird that range would be a burden, but with the build that I'm going to show off, it kind of is. And I also don't want to add variables that you guys can't replicate into builds, which is the main reason why I'm going to try to stay away from ribbons for the most part when recording these videos. I will touch on dispositions, um, but I'm not going to be using them in videos. So for now, I'm gonna make an Excal video. I want to give a huge shout out to someone just here at the start of the video. Uh, if you guys are interested in making Excal builds and learning more about Excalibur, in tweaking this build further than I have, please give this guy a watch. Agal X is his tag on YouTube. I hope I'm saying that right. Agal. I He's fantastic. He is a founder, tons of research on Umbra and just Excal in general, sorry. And he made it made me feel confident to reinvest back into Umbra. Um and hopefully you guys don't have to reinvest in the way that I did back in Umbra. We're gonna go to the build here immediately, and we're gonna talk about some stuff. So, I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you know how Excal works. He's got his Exalted Blade. It's awesome, especially now with Influence. You do not have to build Influence, though. If you are not a melee Influence gamer and you find that boring, then don't build for it. Um, just going to immediately go to that right now. I'm just going to say this right now just to get it out of the way. Replace Focus Energy right here with Magnetic. Put Magnetic Rush here and replace this with Melee Vortex. This will make it so whenever you get a kill, it will suck enemies in. It's amazing. It's awesome. Give it a try. But I'm trying to show something a little more suitable for literally any piece of content. So level cap to level 1. I want this to be comfortable in any mission type. My problem with Excal is I literally never feel like I cannot be using slash dash. In Tekrot Encore, which was like 4 months ago now, an update, they did a lot of tweaks to Excal's abilities, including giving his slash dash first ability shield and vulnerability. Before, he only had health and vulnerability. His health bar would turn gray, but you could get shot and lose your shield. Atlas also had the exact same problem. Both of those are fixed now, so both of these frames are very capable of going to level cap invisible without being invisible. Uh, but Flash Dash, unlike Atlas, is still not considered a weapon. So you can use Shade on Excal. I'm going to show this all in gameplay. I know this is kind of weird the way I'm tackling this and the direction I'm tackling it. I'm just talking about this as if people know about Excal while watching. Um, but this right here will activate even if you're in slash dash. So this gives you double layered survivability at level cap with slash dash, which is what the main way of killing would be at higher level content. Um, I'm not gonna say you can kill like level cap Demolist, but obviously with influence you can do some pretty incredible stuff against trash mobs. Changing out a mod here like healing return and sacrificial pressure for things to do more damage. This is more comfort stuff because, like I said, this is supposed to be kind of for like any content, any base content from like level 1 to EDA and ETA being elite, deep Archimedia and elite temporal Archimedia. But yeah, let's get on to the build. That's kind of the main preface here. Double layered survivability. Then we go to the mods. We have triple layered survivability because we're back to triple Umbra. This is why this was a big investment for me. So I unfortunately removed every single Umbral polarity from Excal Umbra. When the purple shards came out, I switched from regular Excal to Umbra again because I wanted to take advantage of his energy cap. And I know that might sound weird, and it's like, why would you want to take advantage of his energy cap? Well, that is because you only get the extra critical damage from like doubling it from getting a energy pool of 500, and unfortunately regular Excal only gets an energy pool of 427 with Prime Flow. So I switched to Umbra. In the process, because the way stat sticks were and everything before, I was doing like 100 times the damage I am now. Unfortunately, that is just true. Stat sticks got really nerfed. If you were using um, the heavy blade arcane on your operator with the Magistar with the Riven, unfortunately, we're never getting that back. But that's okay. We're moving on from that, and now we have a more enjoyable full kit. So let's get on to the build. All right, this is a lot of back and forth, a lot of talking about Excal. Like I said, this is kind of made for people that have already played Excal. So my problem with Excal, whenever I'm in a mission, ever, I'm just like, oh, I can't bring out my gun because I'm going to evaporate. Um, no shade to my goat. Watched Kai's video on Excal Perfected, and he was using shield gating. Shield gating is fantastic. Do not get me wrong. In parkour and stuff, it it just when you do not have another layer of like crowd control other than your two, which your two is going to require you to build for further than neutral range. Like you're getting shot from 30 meters away. Talk about good news I don't have. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and do this real quick. Let's talk about Excal's 2. Radial Howl. This is 25 meters of a blind. It's actually a stun on this one. It's like a blind stun because Radial Howl is different from Radial Blind, which is regular Excal's ability. This one also strips sentience of their resistances. Nice, but uh, it just I didn't find it enough. And then you also take into the fact that Excal is the most energy hungry frame in the entire game. This frame is so extremely spammy. I'm using slash dash at least twice every 15 seconds. Um, that's gonna be 25 energy and 25 energy. Uh, blind. If we're using base kit, that's 50 energy every single time you're using it. That's a lot. You have radial javelin. It is. I'm pretty sure everyone on the planet is using furious javelin. Uh, for every enemy hit, it will increase your melee damage for a set time, which can be increased with duration. You have to upkeep this every 24.8 seconds. That's another 75 energy that you're using. And now, because Exalted Blade is the best stat stick for slash dash, at least it feels like it to me. And because it scales off of it when you have it out, and you get like extra 10 damage, and it shoots the projectiles on dash. I am having to deal with the drain of this. So we have a lot of abilities we're using. I have tried using Nourish. I have tried using Nourish in Equilibrium and Flow, and it's just never felt like enough. Now enter Arcane Universal Fallout. This Arcane is so fantastic, and if you know how Influence works fully, then you can probably get a good idea why this is really incredible. Each radiation status effect inflicted on enemies by abilities gives 6% chance to drop Universal Orb on enemy death. That means up to 60%. So, go over to Influence. Influence. This will be spreading every single status, like all the elemental statuses, to all the enemies, not just electricity. So when influence is proccing, I'm also spreading radiation. Get over to what mods I'm using here. So I have double heavy attack efficiency here on the Exalted Blade, and that is because I'm using Calervos 2. A lot of people that just use Calervos 2 just like to use it to teleport. I personally also enjoy using it to heavy attack. Excal lost a lot of damage. So the ability to heavy attack with his Exalted Blade on demand on high priority targets is really nice. And I am not punished losing my entire combo because I have 80% heavy attack efficiency. Let's get on to the other mods that I'm using. These here are just look nice. You can use regular flow and regular continuity. This is just kind of here as like they look awesome. Prime Sure Footed also can be replaced. This is something that I don't think enough people talk about. You can use regular Sure Footed, and where continuity is, you can use one moment. You can use Constitution. That is 100% knockdown resistance. I mean, the only thing that you have to do is throw on a red shard to comp for the duration that you lost. And honestly, these numbers are still fine. They're still fine. Like 20 seconds from 24 seconds. You do not have to put a red shard back on to comp for the duration. If you have Prime Sure Footed, slot it. If not, use regular Sure Footed and Constitution. It's really nice. It like you do not have to use Sure Footed. Like if you play this game, you roll through Xmas attacks, you roll through laser gates, you know what you're doing. Don't worry about it. Do whatever you want. Play the game how you want to play it. Showing you what I have for the build. But the mods that are most important to this build, with the way that I like to play Excal, are going to be the triple Umbral again. Like going back to these, which is so weird because I've tried so many forms of survivability and somehow I'm back to sending 2 Umbral form on him, which is so funny. Um, because it obviously I feel pretty stupid for moving them in the first place. And we are using 3 augments. Non-negotiables are going to be Furious Javelin if you would like to go to content beyond base. Like if you want to go higher than the levels in ETA and EDA, like level 500, you are going to need Furious Javelin. This is because this is going to supply massive damage boost. If you pair this with the Cyotids grouping, you can get some pretty crazy damage numbers. I'm going to show that off. I'm just using fashion weapons on him, literally, just because it just looks baller. I love Arthur. Big fan. But yes, necessary if you want to go higher level. This is literally the greatest thing since sliced bread. I love Surging Dash. This allows me to not have to switch to my Exalted Blade to rebuild combo. If I just want to be slash dashing, I can just use slash dash, which is super awesome for high level content because, like I said, you're literally invulnerable and you're literally invisible. Insane. And then we go to the most important one, Chromatic Blade. That 300% status chance scales with strength. Take a look. 531% status chance. You add Crepuscular to that, and you're getting what? And then additional. What's guys? Am I an idiot? Hit that follow button if I'm an idiot. Guys, that's gonna be an additional 10%. See, that doesn't even sound right. It's gonna be a lot more than 10%. Do not hit that subscribe button for that math right there. Do not hit that subscribe button. Um. Okay. I think you guys get the gist of the build and like all the crazy synergies that are going on. But we're gonna go back over Exalted Blade and a couple more things, and then we're gonna go to the shards. Shards on this. Back to Exalted Blade. Sorry. So don't worry about Skijati. That's also fashion. Looks nice. It's his sword. Turn off unholstered. Pissing me off. Okay. Here is the Exalted Blade build. We have Healing Return. This allows me to use my Exalted Blade in any content that I would even consider using the Exalted Blade. The Exalted Blade literally does less damage than Slash Dash. So I've never really found a reason other than you're getting a lot more status because the attack speed is faster, and then you also have your waves and everything. But for any content that I actually want to be using my Exalted Blade, health tanking's viable. I don't know why everybody's so allergic to health tanking. But this mod's pretty fantastic. This mod is really, really incredible. This allows me to basically up until like level. I mean, health tanking with armor is probably gonna fall off in the early mid like 1,000 to 2,000 with this build because we don't have damage reduction. I'd say probably early 1,000. And then from there, that's when you can use slash dash. But We're using this, and then in preparation for Tau, I have this on. Completely stupid. You guys can use Prime Pressure Point. This is not the best in slot mod. And if you are planning to use Exalted Blade more, and you think you're like, if you have survivability covered in a different way, Condition Overload over Healing Return, completely fine. Um, Influence for obvious reasons, Dispatch Overdrive because it's just amazing. You do not need Tennokai because we have 80% combo efficiency, and we are also gaining 14 combo every single time we're using Slash Dash. So really nice. And that combo goes to your Exalted Blade as well. It's shared across both of them because your Exalted Blade is equipped as the melee stat stick for Slash Dash. Okay, onto the shards. These shards are important. Notably one of them. The rest of them, one's comfort, 3 are damage. I'll let you guys decide what you want to do there. But I'm going to show off the one that's most important. This shard right here, this works just like Nourish. Effectiveness on energy orbs. This is incredibly nice. When, like I said, in an optimal condition, every enemy in a 20-meter radius has a 60% chance of dropping energy orbs. You're just getting stupid energy. This allows you to play literally like level 1 survival and level 1 exterminate and not have to worry about energy. That's awesome. That is amazing. I can use abilities in any mission, high enemy density, low enemy density, because we are getting crazy energy, and just crazy orbs. And that it's also going for the team, so it's just that's nice too. We have purple shards for critical damage. That's obviously just nice. And then we have casting speed. Casting speed I pretty much throw on every single warframe. It is quite nice on Radial Javelin because this is a long cast. You can see it there in the animation. It's over a full second. Um, I would only cast this if I've used my slash dash, and I or like if I just used like my 2 and I have shield, so I can shield gate and then cast it. Or obviously you can cast it while invisible, which is amazing. Okay, moving on to invisibility. So arcane that we're using for Crepuscular, I just want to go back to this because I don't think I covered this and the reason why I'm using it. Shade makes me invisible when using slash dash, so the final critical multiplier or final critical damage is super nice. Just great to have. Companion, back to this. Shade, keeping me invisible when I'm slash dashing. There's the build. And we are using auger mods on a pistol or a secondary weapon for the companion. Um, it's also important that you hit that 50% critical damage, critical chance threshold, so you can use Tenacious Bond for final critical multiplier, which is amazing. Especially you can imagine with getting all this extra crit damage to those shards. So yeah, here's the build. This is also for like priming and stuff. I don't prime with this specific one, um, because I don't have my shade shooting. Because if he shoots, then my invisibility will be removed. So also let's talk about this precept as well because it's pretty fantastic. When ghost invisibility is broken, shade owner is granted 240 weapon damage for 3 seconds. That's universal weapon damage, so that's obviously really nice whenever you use your 2. Because this is considered an attack because it's an actual heavy attack, so you're getting 240% damage whenever you heavy attack, so really, really nice. And this strength threshold also is allowing me 2 red crit with Excal, this full build with Crepuscular on. So, Narmon, go Narmon. I don't think I have to say why. Naramon's just really nice. But with your slash dash building combo, if you need to run Zeneric, like if you do not have your mods fully upgraded, go for it. All good. Completely fine. Do what you can. Get Jotty, don't worry about it. This is a heavy attack build just in case if I need it for the Acolyte. There it is if you want it. Cyotid, only thing that matters here is multi-shot. Don't need the other stuff. AX52 is here for the swagger. If you guys want to see the AX52 build and me talking about it, that is in the fun weapons for 2025. Okay, on to actual gameplay. We're just going to go straight into gameplay. We're going to go to Titan. This is my favorite place to test survival because it's Steel Path Grenier on the Grenier ship tile set. And it's, let's be honest, guys, it's goated. Goated tile set. So, here at the beginning, I'm just going to go ahead and pop my 4. I'm going to build some combo with Exalted Blade. The reason why I'm invisible right now is because I have a Parazon mod that does that. So, look at that. You guys see those energy orbs? So those are universal orbs. It's the ones with they look like a health orb where they're a circle, but they're also going to have like this blue outline. So they'll work as a health orb or as an energy orb. Look at all these radiation procs. I mean, okay, awesome, guys. This is really incredible stuff. Triple layer survivability, and I can't stay alive. There you go. There is an orb. Okay. All right. Back to like actually playing the game. I'm having so much trouble just trying to show you what the orbs look like that I'm not even playing the game. So let's talk about what the Cyotid can do. That is 716% damage. And then you combine slash dash in here. This, like I said, is not counted as an attack. You can just change your inverted abilities on Excalibur. So if you just want to tap the second ability, it's going to allow you to teleport instead of heavy attacking, where hold the two to heavy attack. Awesome. Didn't let me. Yo, guys, this is shambles. Yo, that was so bad. I mean, we've gone down, and abilities are bugging. This is so bad, but I think you guys get an idea. This is incredibly strong. We're over 100 kpm with a lot of hiccups and me trying to show you guys a lot of fun stuff. This is just influence going crazy, and just watch my energy, guys. You're gonna see what I mean by how amazing this energy economy really is. Which is Excal's biggest problem. If you mess up like an ability loop, it's just like GG's. So, and as you can see, guys, you don't really need Radial Javelin up or any base steel path at all. Seeing the red crits, thank the Lord, Excal red crits are here, baby. Gotta love it. Gotta love Excalibur. Seeing influence go crazy, spreading all those statuses everywhere. And then when I get a radiation status and influence is up, it's going to spread it to all enemies as well within, as you just saw, there in 20 meters. And my energy is perfectly fine. And like I said, this is suitable for any debuff on EDA, ETA, with extensive testing. Like this is... If you can do level 1 exterminate, you're gonna be completely fine on ETA and EDA. I'll tell you that, because the energy there is so scarce. And the nice part with Excal is you're going to be able to kill like regardless, because you have your Exalted Blade in those modes. So really nice. You can like just bring a Warframe and be completely fine. You're seeing the Cyotid here, how good it is at grouping. Can use my 3 here, or my 3 to build some damage off of a big group. You can also heavy attack. Oh god, it's gonna do the thing again, isn't it? Oh no, we're fine. My teleport's bugging. There you go. There's a heavy attack. You can see it's pretty cool. It goes through walls. Sends a big projectile. Pretty nice. But yeah, that's pretty much the Excal build, guys. We're gonna do a little bit of slash dash here for a little bit, just so you guys can get an idea on what it's like to have the kind of triple layered survivability, but at levels where it actually matters, double layered survivability. You guys can see I'm literally invulnerable, building up a lot of shield because we have the auger mod. So if I do occasionally get shot when I'm invisible because they're shooting my last known position or like a teammate, I should be fine with a really large shield gate. And yeah, invulnerability when we're actually in the 2. So heavy attack, there you go. Using Excalibur 2, you can still one-shot acolytes without the heavy attack. Good luck, I will tell you that. As you can see, when I'm not invisible, you're not going to be red critting. That is because Crepuscular's not up, giving me the ability strength necessary to hit the red crit threshold for my second ability. So, oh, this is really amazing. We didn't even talk about Excalibur's ability. Let's talk about this real quick. So, as you can see right here, flat 207% crit chance for 15 seconds. Awesome. And you want to use it every 15 seconds. It is incredible lateral movement. When you're parkouring around, look at this. parkouring to, like, let's say extract. I gotta go over here. Like, you guys get the idea. And then you combine this with slash dash as well, and you just have incredible movement. All right, so let's do some survivability just using the Exalted Blade for a little bit so you guys can get what it's like in base content and what the healing is like and like what you can expect.
Keep up the good work. When you are ready, go to extraction.
You know invisibility because it's technically a weapon. As you can see, regaining any health that I take is damage. It's going to be completely fine for any base steel path content. And this also allows me to whip out my gun every once in a while. And play a little gun on Excal. Guys, look how amazing the AX-52 is. Holy. Kidding. Because I didn't have the stacks up. Okay. Now it's time for it to shred. I mean, you guys get the idea. Like, you can use guns on Excal, what feels like for the first time in forever. For me, at least. Like, I've not made, like, this much survivability on a kit, but Excal kind of needs it. He needs this much energy. He needs this much survivability. This is using every single ability in his kit. I mean, with this helmet, so... Or with this helmet. So, yeah. I mean, you could, in theory, use his 2 for CC, and that'd be nice, too. If you have no helmet, you should still be fine. But I'm assuming if you're watching this video and even considering this build, you probably have helmet. We have some expensive stuff going on in this build, including an arcane that is very limited. This is a high invest build. I'm not going to deny that. We have quite a few endgame mods on this build. This is not going to be something you're building right after you get Excalibur Umbra. This is going to be something for kind of people that want a comfortable build on Excalibur for any piece of content. Is this the strongest damage build? No. But is it his most comfortable build I can think of? Yes. And that's kind of what matters to me on Excal, because if I want the most damage, well, I can just play Gara. Because she seems to be the best after the stat stick changes with her 1. And with the way that scales, it seems pretty great. And also Atlas is an option. But if you want to play Excal, he is an option. Like, and for literally any content. This will allow you to, in any core path mission, just whip out your gun and just start going to town. I mean, as you guys can see, pretty amazing stuff. 3 also works as like a little mini nuke against really low levels, so that's pretty nice. Not having range on this build is a little painful. Oh. Dang, there's the heavy attack for the one shot on the Acolyte. What's not to love about that? What's not to love about that? Like I said, Cyotid, really good to pair up here. Really good to group up all these enemies. Pop the 3. Get a lot more melee damage when you do that. Yeah, and like as you can see, we haven't really had any close calls ever since that first down. Because I was trying to show you guys the orbs, but I'm going to leave that in just because I want to be realistic, guys. I mean, there's times, obviously, you're going to go down with any build, so... Yeah. You're not really truly invulnerable with any build, but this is pretty darn close to it. You got health. You've got shield gating through the auger mods on your companion. You've got invisibility, and you have invulnerability. I mean, what's not to love? And you're giving energy orbs to everybody, blessing the whole map with it. And I just found this as a really interesting usage for Arcane Universal Fallout. I think this is probably long enough for this video. I want to thank you guys for watching, and you guys can expect the Dianax video hopefully late tomorrow night. My Invig ends in... Doesn't show me up there because I'm not playing him. It should end in 22 hours, so hopefully I can get out a video to you guys tomorrow night. Lovely. Crash parkour. But you can get an idea on what the movement's like. Pretty amazing stuff. You guys have any questions, have any suggestions? Would love to hear what you guys think. Let me know if you guys like the build, if you are able to replicate it. As for levels with the arcanes, it shouldn't matter too much. as long as you can at least get like a level 3 universal fallout. I understand if you were selling those, it probably didn't sound too useful for too many builds. But if you can get like level 3, so then it's a 30% chance, or that's actually rank 2. Yeah, I think you'd be fine with like a rank 2, rank 3. Crepuscular, super easy to max out. Just make sure you're getting your daily standing in 1999. Not hard. You can buy it from Eleanor. Uh, we showed you guys the switch for prime sure-footed. If you want to still have full knockdown immunity, it is nice. I mean, we can't deny it. Um, Showed you guys the Cyotid for grouping for the 3, because the way it works is every enemy hit will increase your damage, and it does not have the largest range. And it does have line of sight check, so grouping a bunch of enemies close to you is really nice. We are using Kalervo's Helmet. It is not necessary, but it is nice if you would like to hit red crits. Showed you guys the augments and why we're using them to rebuild combo after you use your heavy attack 2 on acolytes and on other high priority targets. Chromatic blade on electricity. What you do that is by making sure you click your emissive color on like a lighter blue or like a purple. Just make sure you don't go to like one of these blues, because that's going to be considered like frost. I mean cold frost. This is basically as light as you can go with this type of saturation, with it still being electricity. And the reason I did that is so the orange still pops a little bit on this fashion. Unfortunately, it's a little sabotaged by it, but that's okay. X52 for fashion. Love the drip. Shade. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much everything, guys. You saw it with Naramon there. You guys can try it with Zeneric if some things don't work out for you mod level wise, or like if you need to use regular shards and not Talford shards. That's obviously an option. So do what you guys can. Let me know what you guys change, and if you have any questions about what you should change if this build's not possible for you guys. Um, Once again, thank you for watching. Thank you guys for the actually, like, I know it might not seem like it, but overwhelming support on the past 2 videos. I was just gonna do these for fun, but like you guys actually, like the people that commented, you encouraged me to continue making content for a game I'm super duper passionate about. So thank you guys. Um, I will be here for Taliban Prime, showing you guys builds for his new weapons, talking about differences and mods I use on his build with his new base stat values. And I will hopefully get out a Styanax video in between that time. So thank you guys for watching. You guys have a blessed evening. And yeah, thank you so much. Bye. Enjoy the build.